Yeah, so in my keynote, I want to get people home with a clear understanding. There has been lots of success cases in the sporting goods industry with regards to sustainability, product innovation, material innovation, process innovation, business model innovation. But at the same time, there's clear evidence that the packaging part as a holistic component has not been thought through well enough. So basically, I think this event is an amazing opportunity to engage further and leverage packaging as a true enabler and also a proof point to make more successful sustainability cases. Okay, I think with regards to market dynamics, what we can observe is that we're coming actually from a really dynamics of competition, like the idea, and I think that's what we learned in economics the last 50 or 100 years, that your self-interest will actually push competition and at the end we all benefit. We learned that formula is not working all the time. So the new dynamics I see for the future is that we're engaging on partnerships, on collaboration, even amongst competitors. And this requires a new skill set also for managers and leaders in the industry to really understand how can we facilitate spaces, environments where competition and cooperation and partnership can flourish. And I do believe the Congress is just a great example how to bring different stakeholders, different industry leaders together to holistically approach this topic. I think the consumer behavior part is, for me, the most crucial one because it also requires a shift the way we operate with consumers. Let's say traditionally, brands like to understand the consumer demand and fulfill the demand. And in a higher level of a brand evolution, you almost co-create with your consumer. And on the highest level, almost your consumer creates for you the content. And I do believe we learned what we call the attitude-behavior gap, that lots of consumers talk about how pro they're towards sustainable product, how much this will influence their purchase decision, but we also learned it's not turning into reality. So what we actually need to do in the future is segment the consumer much better to understand which niche is really interested in reading the labels and the CSR reports, but how to actually engage a mass market consumer and also in an educative approach to bring them into sustainability, not in a scientific language, but in a very consumer brand and engaging conversation. Yeah, I think to me the most remarkable examples in my mind are actually, I would like to start with Patagonia because it's probably worldwide one of the most famous examples in our industry. I think what they provoked with this famous claim, "Don't buy this jacket," was so much against the traditional norm of brand and advertising. But I think it created a huge impact in the sense of behavioral change and awareness change. So for me, this is a great example how a company which is intrinsically motivated to push the sustainability agenda also took the consumer by the hand and drove that behavioral change. From an operational perspective, I think there's a great example, obviously, also with Adidas. Way back in 2016, making a commitment that until 23 to exit from virgin polyester and fulfilling that target. So this moonshot mentality to say, we want to reach that. It seems to be rather impossible today, but we have to put these impossible goals out and then work against it, I think is another great example. And then a more actual example for me is the Scandinavian brand Houdini, who basically positioned themselves as the first circular sporting goods company in the world. So putting circularity basically as their moonshot out and putting proof points. Every product is repairable, everything you can take back, you can resell products, and is facilitated by the brand as another consumer touch point. For me, those are three amazing examples of brands who are really pushing the boundaries on sustainability. I do see the biggest value of this is twofold. One is the knowledge we're all gaining here in this event. And I think the greatest value is that it's such a cross-industry and cross-sector event. Because alone in the conversation I had in the opening yesterday, no matter if you talk about chocolate or you talk about alcoholic beverages, at the end of the day we share similar success stories but also similar pain points. So that is one. And then the second one, I was talking in the beginning on what we need to do. I think we need a facilitated process to drive partnership and cooperation. And this event is one of those events. And I think the strength of this event is also that it's repetitive. Because I come from a sporting goods industry, as athletes, it's all about repetitive training and staying in that rhythm of collaboration, networking, knowledge exchange. And that's why I think it's so great about this event. So my impression is, I think what is great about this event, it brings also different layers of the organizations together. So I see here people from all the level, whatever, leadership, VP level, but also people who are really hands on the ground, or feet on the ground and hands in the business. So I think the level of people required to work on sustainability from strategic to operational, I think is very, very well executed in that event.